Hello there, right here. Guys, we got some brand new bamboo blocks as well as new Vex and World Edit coming to vanilla Minecraft and much more. This is all in the new snapshot 22W45A, which is going to be for 1.20 as well as 1.19.3. Let's look at all these changes which will be coming to the game. Remember to subscribe as I have been discovering cool tricks you can do in 1.20. We got a new block of bamboo. Look at this thing. Put in 9 bamboo, you'll get a single block. And if we place this down, it looks really nice. You can see the actual stalks of bamboo all in there, and it also gives this green color that a lot of people wanted that is sort of missing when it comes to the different types of logs. We can also use an axe on this, and this will produce another new block which is called block of stripped bamboo, which looks a bit similar to the actual bamboo planks, but there is some differences. As you can see, it's a little bit more greener, and you can also have this texture on top. I think builders are gonna love this, not only for the color but also for this cool texture which you can put in as floors or ceilings or even walls. Now you can also use these blocks of bamboo and craft them down to planks, which will produce 2 of them. But it seems they removed the recipe to actually craft bamboo planks just by using bamboo. This might just be a bug, but we'll have to see. Before, you could have stuff such as torches be stuck to a shulker box even while it was open, but now they will automatically break off. If we try snow layers, they will still stay on. Unless the shulker box is sideways, then they will pop. And if the shulker box is open, you can't actually place such blocks on them. This isn't really going to affect too much, as in compact circuitry, we often don't use shulker boxes. But just keep this in mind if you're trying to light up an area to prevent mobs from spawning. Besides that, they also did a bunch of changes to the creative menu. First off, they made a special tab just for the colored blocks. You can see all the wool, carpets, terracottas, concrete, the powders, the glaze, the glass, the paints, the shulkers, the beds. There is a lot of color stuff, so it made sense to put it all into a single tab. So now if we go into the building one, we can see we got all the wood and then all the variations and then the different types. It goes through all of them, including the new bamboo ones. And then it moves on to the stone types. Then we got the sands, and we got some nether ones and some other ones. And it finishes off with the copper ones. I really like that, where all the color stuff is separated and it's not so cluttered here now. Also at the bottom of the redstone tab, we no longer have the operator only item. They're added into a new operator tab. If you come into your controls, and then if you hit operator item tab, you turn that to on. And if now we open up the menu, we can see we got a new one right here, which is called operator utilities. If we click that, this is where we have access to all those special blocks. One thing I complained about is they didn't have the structure block within the redstone creative items at the very bottom. And now they brought it in, which is amazing because I love using the structure block. And they also showcase all the light levels so you can easily grab them. With it added, it also makes it symmetrical for the creative menu with same amount of tabs on the top as well as bottom. Consumables also got renamed to called food and drinks. The crafting tab got renamed to ingredients. The natural blocks also got reordered, so it's more consistent between types from the top down to the bottom. And the eggs were a bit kind of strange, and it really didn't fit in either the block plants or the seeds, so they put them right between them. And you can find climbable blocks like the vines right before the 2 tall plants. In this tab, they also put the different cooked and raw variations side by side, so they're easier to find. They also have all the different types of suspicious stew here, with the actual names and potion effects shown when you highlight over them. The redstone block tab is also now less cluttered, as the redundant blocks like all the different doors aren't showing up here, just one, which is great because when you're doing redstone you just need one type, you don't really care what type it is. And they also made the really high important items at the very top, which is what I love because I just hate having to scroll down for something you use quite often. And within this tab, they placed in the actual ores in the same order they show up in other tabs. XP orbs got moved out of the tools and utility tab and got placed inside the ingredients tab just before enchanted books. Access will not only show up inside of the tools tab, but also in the combat tab because they're effective weapons. And in this tab, we also have not one type of firework, but all 3 durations, so you can easily get the type you need. They also appear here in the combat tab. When it comes to the function tab, at the very top we have a bunch of different types of light sources, easy to grab. When it comes to the functional blocks, we also have that end portal frame, which is down at the bottom. But they also added in the Eyes of Ender right beside it, so you can grab both of them easily. And if you also grab an item that is in multiple locations on the creative menu, when you hover over top of it, it'll tell you this. So this one says it's in the functional blocks, it's also in the tools and utilities, and it's in the ingredients. So you can easily remember where to find it in the future. I'm really impressed overall that they continue to improve upon the creative menu, as when it comes to designing new types of farms, machines, and finding tricks, I use this quite often. What do you guys think of these changes? In this new snapshot, we got some new looking Vex. Look at these things. These things are crazy looking. So if we look at the old Vex compared to the new one, we can see that the new Vex is very similar to like the newer Allay. Instead of having just a big single foot, we have kind of like a fade where it just kind of ends like a ghost. They still kind of have the shabby wings, and it kind of does look similar to the Allays. Overall, they have been made quite a bit smaller, so they're similar size as Allay. So maybe there will be a lore that the Allay somehow got converted into Vex, or even Vex got converted into Allays. But they did say when it comes to the hitboxes, they purposely let the Vex keep a little bit bigger one, so it's easier for you to hit it while in combat. Overall, what do you guys think of the new look for the Vex? To me, they seem like evil fairies. There's also a change to this publish command, which allows you to open up your world so others can join. So you can set it to true. You can also say what game mode you want people to be in when they join. And you can say exactly which port you want to be used in order to find your world. This is similar as going into your game menu, then clicking open to LAN and single player with all the information here. But they also made it so that creative is set by default as well as allowed cheats on. And this is where you can actually change the port number. This will make it easier for me to test stuff out in single player with another account. When it comes to going into spectator mode and then being able to teleport to people, you also have the option to teleport to team members. Now this option, that players on this list will only show up if they're an actual viable target player. So it doesn't show like for me in single player. We also got some helpful and funny bug fixes. During our stream, we noticed that the person in the backseat could actually make the camel dash, which was kind of odd. So now this no longer can be done. With the recent changes so that you can play 1.19.3 snapshot or you can play 1.20. They made it so you can either turn off 1.20 features within the game or not. But there were still ways to circumvent this, like making a world with 1.20 features. And then even though you have it disabled, you can still get 1.20 items. So this was changed. The noises of the different types of new hanging signs weren't quite right when being placed. Something I complained about ever since they came out with waterlogging stuff, but the inability to actually place water sources within a waterlogged block. And I thought this was just the way they wanted the game. But they're coming back and they're finally changing this. So now if you click, it'll just add water to it. And if you shift click on it, it'll still just add water. Playing during our testing streams, some of the guys noticed that the arrows were flying all about when it came to anything that got shot with a crossbow, including the arrows even going backwards. So now these things will work like normal. This same thing was also occurring with crossbows and fireworks, with them shooting every direction. On stream, one of the guys noticed that load compasses were really janky when it came to their enchanting overlay. Now it's back to normal. Before, if you died from TNT, it would just say you were blown up. But in recent snapshots, it would instead say you were killed by prime TNT, or whatever type of explosion it was. So now if you died to TNT, it will say you were blown up, but it can also say what you're blown up from, such as me lighting the TNT with a renamed flint and steel. And if you just use redstone to blow it up, they'll just use the old blew up message. You might remember the old bug where someone would hop into another portal, but then they would briefly appear that they were somewhere else before getting teleported to their correct location. This problem still seemed to be in the game, as this player could see this player pop up over here, but then instantly vanish and be teleported to their correct nether location. This is actually a trick I used to hold the world record for getting out to the Minecraft world border, which is 30 million blocks. I'll have that video linked below. In my experience, when horses would go through nether portals, they would suffocate. Now if you push a horse through a nether portal, you can see the horse will appear right in the center and not be just centered on a specific block, causing it to actually suffocate, which is great. Make transporting mobs into the nether and overworld much easier. When it comes to crafting up maps and making them zoom, the actual information on the map was not updating when you would zoom it, which now it will. There was a slight difference in the suffocation point, or where the eyes are at, or the piglin brute compared to the piglin and zombified piglin, and now it's consistent. Bees pathfinding within the game in order to try to find a bee's nest or a hive was causing performance issues as it tried to navigate its way back. This was causing bees to try to load chunks in order to navigate their way to their original nest, even if they got pulled far away. Now with it fixed, we should see better performance with the bees. When in single player, the game was still trying to tell you that you could report people, but obviously in single player, there was nobody to report. There was a problem with a new network protocol that they added in the previous snapshot. You cannot actually log into an offline server. This message would pop up, and this actually happened to me as well. Invalid signature for profile public key. Try restarting your game. So now you should no longer see this message. It was possible to get crashed out of the game if you would bone meal fungus in the previous snapshot. It was found out that inside of the Minecraft preview, they're going to add in the ability to actually select different areas in your Minecraft world and move them around, all from within the game. sort of like mods like World Edit. Now when it comes to types of tools like this for the Bedrock Edition, they are very limited, where like in Java, people make mods to fill these niches. But it would be cool to see this sort of thing also come to the Java Edition, sort of like how we got structure blocks, which can kind of do this, but they do take quite a bit of time to actually set up. This feature wouldn't be for survival, but for creative. If they did add this, would you guys actually use it? Come join my Twitch now, as I will be playing the new snapshot with you guys, the viewers. You can find the IP in my Discord, or check out more Minecraft news in this playlist here, or this one all about crazy glitches. We're so close to reaching my goal of 7,000 members on my Discord, so if you haven't joined my community over there, click the link down below. Thank you all for watching, I'll see you guys on Twitch. Bye bye!